This is the Greg Bedard Patriots Podcast with Nick Caddles.
The most important thing in terms of AVP's effectiveness in this game was the performance of Jacoby Brissett. I don't know if I've ever seen Jacoby play this way, to be as decisive as he was, to largely stay out of trouble, not take sacks, get rid of the ball, take care of the ball. Now, there was the Hunter Henry play in the end zone that, had shades of Mac Jones written all over it until Hunter Henry played defensive back. But if this is an example of, and again, this could just be Jacoby knows the Bengals as well, so maybe this was just comfortable for him. But if this was an example of how AVP, Ben McAdoo, TC McCartney, Evan Rothstein, as I wrote, a partridge in a pear tree in terms of their QB collective over there. If Jacoby playing this way from what we're used to in his career, and keep in mind, this is a guy that has a 7.5% career sack rate. Dating back to his rookie year, that's seventh in the league, seventh highest. So this is a guy who takes a lot of sacks and holds the ball and is late with reads. Didn't see much of that on Sunday at all. And so if this is indicative of how they can coach up players, coach up the quarterback, I mean, not only is it a good sign for the offense, but it's a good sign of the present offense. It's a good sign for what they're doing with Drake May and developing him down the road. So I would say, look, nobody's going to write home with, 121-yard passing yards, 75.2 passer rating, 39 runs, 170 yards. I do think it's a feather in his cap that Stevenson was like, well, let's not run wide zone anymore. I don't want to run that anymore. Pretty much saying like we stink at it. Can we just go to gap? And that's what he did. And that basically like sealed the game at the end. So I would say in all sorts of areas, not fireworks or anything like that, but a good productive day for the offense, the quarterback.
Brissett had a good day given what he had, the circumstances. He had one bad throw, the throw to Henry. He had 3 or 4 misfires. He missed Osborne high. He threw high to Pop on a third down. He wasn't flawless, far from it. But as you mentioned, Greg, the poise, the toughness, the decisiveness for most of the day, did not turn the football over. This coaching staff, the decision to sit Drake May at the beginning of the year, you saw why on Sunday, because you had that veteran steady presence and a guy who just managed the game and did enough for you to walk out with the W. And I'm not sold that Drake May would have been as cool, calm, and collected on Sunday as we saw Brissett, especially when he's getting, people around him and he's gonna break those runs. So I thought the coaching staff, they looked good on Sunday, making the decision at quarterback.
Yeah, 100%. And, Nick, even if you add in the struggles of the other first-round quarterbacks on Sunday, I mean, Bo Nix was terrible and pressured a lot by the Seattle team that the Patriots, the only team that had more pressure, so the Bengals against the Patriots offensive line had the second highest pressure rate. I think it was like 47% or something like that. I had them actually for more, 51%. Well, I'm sure we're going to get into that in a second when we talk about the offensive line. But the Seahawks had the highest pressure rate against Bo Nix, and Bo was not good. Caleb Williams was terrible. Jaden Daniels wasn't great either. And you sort of look at it in that context, and you're just like, see, this is why you sit the kid. They don't be in a rush. I mean, look at did all 3 of those teams lose? I think they all lost. And the team the team that sat there,
Chicago won.
What'd you say?
Will Levis threw the worst pick six you'll ever see in the history of football.
Right. I forgot about that. The Bears, Caleb Williams offense that got a big goose egg, and they got 24 points from their defense and special teams. So they won. But the offense that actually, did something to contribute to a victory, they were the one team that said, you know what, we're not going to rush the kid. We're not going to just throw him out there because he's a shiny new toy. We're going to go with the veteran. And they won a road game, against a team that's, later on in the season is usually pretty good. Not really in week ones and week twos. One thing I wanted to point out, that opening play of the second half, because I've heard some criticism of that play, and I think you're right. Like, I did not have a problem with that at all. Not just from, making the Bengals pay more a little bit attention to the deep ball, but they got exactly what they wanted on that play. They got man coverage. The Bengals brought one of their few blitzes on that play, and they basically had two outside receivers, one-on-one with a middle-of-the-field safety. I just thought Jacoby threw it to the wrong place. He went to Tyquan. I thought Polk had a step on the other side of the field. I thought Polk probably was the one receiver that got open a little bit more than the other ones. That was also a play where I didn't understand, why not just go play action? Like, they didn't do play action. He just dropped back. You've been running the ball, like, give a good play action and then, see what happens. But, yeah, I thought it was a really good day for 1 week, at least, for the offense. And, Jacoby, I just can't say enough how he played in this game. I was extremely impressed. Was it perfect? No. But in terms of what he had to deal with, being pressured on like half of his snaps, the first downs and the yardage that he picked up instead of taking sacks. Probably Jacoby a couple of years ago might have taken 5 sacks in that game, and that might have been the difference in the game. Instead, he was making plays, moving the chains, getting him in the third manageable, hitting some big third down plays. As you said, comparing him to, if they played May in this game, twice Leighton Robinson didn't just let a free runner come in right at Jacoby. And I think both times he completed the pass, including one time to Austin Hooper when, 2 guys came free. Jacoby knew exactly where to go with the ball. Hooper was hot. They get a big gain, and, here they go. But, Jacoby, he was, in terms of the way I grade games, and a lot of it is just about decision-making, and did they make the right decision? Did they hang in against pressure and things like that? This was the highest graded game for a Patriots quarterback that I've had since Mac Jones's rookie year. I was just incredibly, and that also includes the stuff that he did with his legs. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. He left some plays on the field. He left a big third down play when he threw high to KJ Osborne on that check down. He was a little too quick with that one. He had Pop coming open for a big play, and he kind of bailed a little bit early. But overall, my hat's off to Jacoby Brissett. That was one of the toughest performances, under duress that I've ever seen in my career.
Support us and sign up at Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS or download the app today and use code CLNS at prizepicks.com/CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5.